Acquisitions are all the rage in gaming as of late, to the point that legendary game dev Hideo Kojima of Metal Gear Solid fame came out and had to debunk that his studio, Kojima Productions, was being acquired by Sony PlayStation. After Death Stranding was added to a promotional PlayStation banner, speculation started, but Kojima quickly released a tweet that might as well have just said, nah, bro. It just shut all that shit down. This all happened very recently. So yeah, it seems like every time you turn around, there's at least a rumor of Sony acquiring another development studio, or every handful of months Microsoft scoops up another one of the bigger fish, with their most recent earth-shattering grab, of course, being the acquisition of Activision Blizzard announced a few months ago. And after that acquisition was announced in January, all the way up until now in late April, all anyone can talk about is what Sony PlayStation could and should do in response. And I'm as excited as anyone else when it comes to this topic, honestly, because there are quite a few avenues that Sony can potentially stroll down and come out big. Now, obviously, there are no purchases for them to make that would be on the sheer gravitational financial scale of Microsoft's purchase of Activision Blizzard. But there are quite a few studios Sony could buy that would rival in terms of cultural relevance and legacy. The first of these that I'm going to talk about is probably the one that I personally would like to happen the most, and it's Capcom. Capcom is 100% in the financial wheelhouse for Sony, and as I've already said, it would be a great get in terms of legacy and, optics surrounding it. It wouldn't matter that it would cost nowhere near what Microsoft spent for Blizzard, because all we're going to look at as civilian gamers is the undeniable lineup of heavy hitters attached to a Capcom purchase, and that it, would be enough to compete on some level with Blizzard's own lineup. Think about this. When it comes to heavy hitters, that is to say big time money making franchises that are as close as you can get to guaranteed dollars in gaming, Capcom has at least 3: Resident Evil, Street Fighter, and Monster Hunter. And if you're thinking, oh, Monster Hunter's not that, stop it. It is admittedly new to the heavy hitter soiree, but it is definitely in there after Monster Hunter World blew the fucking franchise up to that status. Now, aside from adding a few more big boys to your roster with the Capcom purchase, you also gain a few more niche legacy titles and even a cult classic or two, right? I'm talking Mega Man, Devil May Cry, Ace Attorney, Dragon's Dogma, And think about the talk that would start to swirl around immediately from fans about hopefully now getting the RE2 style Dino Crisis reboot that everyone's been begging for. All these like factors and stuff just make for a great look from like a public standpoint, and I think it would just work. But if not Capcom, who else could they buy? Well, let's just get one of these out of the way. It's definitely a smaller group of people that keep bringing this one up, but let's just address it real quick. Some people are saying, well, Sony could get Bandai Namco. Just stop it. Namco's too big. They're fucking huge. Sony is not spending that kind of money. That is a big old fish, and it's likely not going to be reeled in anytime soon. Okay? Let's move on. I feel like I'm going to wake up in the morning and read, Sony acquires Bandai Namco. and I fucking scramble to delete the video, they're gonna be all, hey man, didn't you say? I'm gonna be like, no, what? I never said anything like that of the sort. What are you even talking about? You're stupid. You're dumb. I would never. You're stupid. No, okay, but yeah, whatever. Anyway, another potential acquisition, of course, is Square Enix. Now, Capcom and Square have certainly been the two most talked about potential grabs for Sony. I think because they're big cultural gets as far as games culture is concerned, and they actually seem feasible as well, you know? But listen, if Sony gets Square, that's fucking crazy. That's fucking crazy. Square has some big ass boys. Like, Final fucking Fantasy, bro? Fucking Dragon's Quest? Like, bro, fucking Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy, those are some big ass fucking boys. I don't know what that would mean, what the potential purchase of Square would mean for Kingdom Hearts, because I believe Disney owns Kingdom Hearts. So does that give Sony an in with Disney, or does Disney stop partnering with Square? I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. But yeah, man, you know, you also get Nier, Tomb Raider. Sheesh, you know, that's heavy shit, man. Like, you get some heavy shit from Square Enix, like, really. But moving on, there have recently been rumors swirling around about this last one I want to talk about. It's the dev that's been in everyone's mouth as of late. I am, of course, talking about Fromsoftware. Now, I don't think sources are claiming anything concrete, you know. However, what they are saying is that in Sony's pursuit of further acquisition, they are definitely keeping FromSoft on their radar, you know. Now, when it comes to Dark Souls and Elden Ring, I think FromSoft and Bandai Namco have some sort of shared ownership that would prevent either entity from making an addition to those franchises without the other party, I think. I'm also unsure about ownership of Sekiro when it comes to Activision and FromSoft, although I think FromSoft still holds the ownership of that IP. What we can be sure of, if Sony were to snap up FromSoft, is that more Bloodborne would potentially be on the table, seeing as how PlayStation owns that IP outright. But the value isn't really in the IP when it comes to FromSoft, because they're a developer and not a publisher. The value comes from their talent. Everyone would just be waiting to see what they do next under the PlayStation banner, now more than ever, you know, thanks to Elden Ring. Not to mention, Sony owns where Souls began, and so that could open up the possibility of Miyazaki revisiting his baby after 13 or 14 years and getting to work on Demon Souls 2, possibly, you know? Not to mention, again, that PlayStation owns Bluepoint, who made one of the most gorgeous and technically sound games ever with the Demon Souls remake. Could you imagine if Bluepoint brought their savviness for creating high-fidelity games into a collaboration with FromSoft and Miyazaki after all they've learned over all these years to create something entirely new? Holy fuck, bro. Holy fuck. That would be fucking crazy. What I'm talking about doesn't even exist, and I already want to give it Game of the Year. Let me put it this way. You probably already love Elden Ring. Imagine if it looked like the Demon Souls remake in terms of fidelity. Holy fuck, man. Are you like, bro, holy shit. Every single person on earth would be calling that the greatest game of all time. That, you know, what about Bloodborne 2? An all new Bloodborne game with the amazing art design that comes from FromSoft, but in a graphically gorgeous, technically sound package. Shit. you know, time would just be up for the rest of the industry after that. Honestly, like, I think time's just up for you. You just have to sit back and lose if that happens. Like, you know, but and see, the thing is, Sony has ties to all these studios. Square, Capcom, FromSoft. The upcoming Final Fantasy 16 is even gonna be at least a year-long PlayStation exclusive. You know, backing from PlayStation and that console exclusivity is what got Street Fighter V's early troubled development over the hump. And I've already mentioned, you know, Demon Souls and Bloodborne with FromSoft. So they have ties with all these companies. So I don't feel any of these are truly outside the realm of possibility. But yeah, that's all I got today. I don't know. You know, who do you think Sony will buy? Who do you want them to buy? If anyone. I really do want to know. But yeah, it's me, Waifu Belector. I hope you find peace. Now, go out and get you some maidens.